Well, a very warm welcome back to the National Rugby Centre in Marcoussis, just south of Paris. It's the second instalment of the Under-18 Six Nations Festival. It is Wales against England. Well, Scotland produced the goods in the first game with a 14-point victory over their Italian counterparts. A lot of attacking rugby on show in that first game, and this game promises to be absolutely no different. Let's just take a look at the Wales team. It's a Cardiff Scarlets and Dragons front row with Emmanuel Young and Couch. And there is an Englishman in the second row, Johnny Green of Harlequins, who started against England only last month. Starts again today for the Welsh. Look out for Morgan Morse, the number 8. He's of the Ospreys, and the halfback pairing of Rhodri Lewis of the Ospreys and Sam Berry of the Dragons, another who started against England last month. Dangerous looking back line as well, and there is another England-based player there, Gabe Lacey of the Bristol Bears, starting on the wing for Wales. Now let's just switch our attentions to the England team. Again, it's a transitional lineup, you could say. There's a lot of players missing from the past meeting. Jonathan Pendlebury has his hands tied, really, because a lot of players aren't young enough to actually make this festival. So England do chop and change quite considerably. And there's a Harlequins, Northampton and Bristol Bears front row. And look out for Harvey Cuxon in the second row. He's of Worcester Warriors. Luke Colston partnering him is some talent as well of the Newcastle Falcons. And Arthur Green of Bath scored against Wales in March. He starts at number 8. Ollie Allen and Rory Taylor form an all-London Irish halfback pairing for England today. And it's a very, very dangerous looking side. George Luce, the outside centre as well of Leicester Tigers, is some talent. Plenty of talent on the bench as well. Walker Price, look out for him. I'm sure he'll come on. He plays for the Dragons, and he is a lightning quick back. And as for England, well, plenty of talent. There always is with England at age grade level, regardless of where you look. There's a lot of Newcastle Falcons in the England squad as well. Well, whatever age grade you're at, England against Wales always means something. It is one of the matches on the rugby calendar. It's the under-18s turn, but it's still Wales against England. Played in France at the Under-18 Six Nations Festival. and both of these teams have considerable squad depth at their disposal, particularly England. And they'll be feeling they have a point to prove of late. They've been beaten by France recently, and they actually go into this tournament as second or third favourites, really, behind the French. And they'll want to rectify that by going unbeaten this week. 70-minute matches, 35 minutes a half. It's the second instalment of the Under-18 Six Nations Festival on the outskirts of Paris. England did actually beat Wales very recently in Taunton, Somerset. 1,200 people went along to watch that one, but there's been a raft of England changes. The likes of Sam Worsley, Sam Harris, Charlie Bracken, the son of the ex-England international Kyron Bracken, all not in the 26-man squad this week. They fielded an all-Quins front row in their last meeting with Wales. That's changed as well. Only 6 players who started against Wales are in the 26-man squad this time. It's an England squad with plenty of changes, but also plenty of talent. And it will be England who get us underway against Wales in match 2. Always whets the appetite. Wales against England in any sport, football, rugby, whatever your allegiance is. England looking to get motoring straight away.
Advantage!
And they have an early penalty coming. They're right on the Welsh 22 at the moment. This is a lightning fast start from England, and looking to get their hands on the ball out wide. They come back inside. Referee still playing advantage. There's a Welshman trying to get out of the way, but couldn't quite manage it. But we play on, but back we come for the penalty. Picture is Will Glister of Wasps, and also of the City of Oxford College. She was on the bench against Wales recently. And the first sighter at goal for England, and we're just 70 seconds in. And this is the fly half, Rory Taylor of London Irish and of Wellington College. And he'll be looking to get England ticking over today. First chance of 3 points. Not one penalty was kicked when Scotland played Italy. It was all tries and conversions. But Rory Taylor is off the mark, and England, it has taken under 2 minutes and they're on the board already. England beaten by the French youngsters, 28-5 recently. That was on the 5th of March. A bit of a chastening, rude awakening for the English. But they're always among the favourites for these tournaments. Taylor, lovely hands. There's 3 Welshmen bringing the English forward down, but England keep coming again. They do play a direct game at times. Again, favouring the contact.
Let's go! Use it!
And a good early test. Under the high ball. That was for the Welsh fly half. Sam Berry of the Dragons. And that's another England penalty. And they're looking really fired up for this. Wales were off their feet. And England at the moment with a little bit of early breakdown supremacy. And they are hitting Wales hard in the contact at present. Wales clearly off their feet there. Oh, he's a calming influence, Rory Taylor. I'd be interested to see how his development with Ollie Allen continues. London Irish halfback pairing. They do play at different colleges. Rory Taylor at Wellington College and Allen at Bishop One School.
Advantage knock on.
It's a Welsh knock on. And,
Release, Black, release.
England have the ball. It's all England at the moment inside the opening 4 minutes. And perhaps a chance to shift it wide for the first time. Steps back inside. But, the support cast is there for England.
Back. Advantage over for knock on.
Advantage is over. It's another England penalty. And that's 3 given away. Quickly. Once again, not rolling away.
Number 6, roll away.
That was Kenzie Jenkins of Cardiff, who has been pinged. He can also play at open side, Jenkins. But Wales at the moment really struggling to get any kind of foot on the ball, or hands rather. Impetus is all with England as we approach the 5-minute mark here in Marcoussis for Game 2 of the Under-18s Festival. England's hooker, Craig Wright of Northampton Saints. Line out taken cleanly, and England are rumbling here, and this looks pretty unstoppable. It's being held at the back of the maul. England probing and powering their way towards the try line, and this looks inevitable. And listen to the roars. And the momentum at the moment is all English. That is a fabulous forwards try. And Wales could not stop that. That was inevitable, and it was Craig Wright of Felsted School and Northampton Saints. And that was extremely powerfully done from the English. Shades of Gloucester this season. If you've been watching Gloucester in the Gallagher Premiership, their maul has been unstoppable, and that looked very, very similar indeed. Finished off though by a Northampton Saint. Craig Wright has himself a under-18s test try. Welsh defensive more splintered, and now Taylor with the opportunity to add 2, although it does drift wide. First blemish for Rory Taylor off the tee. Another look. Well, once the maul is set, it's extremely difficult to defend. And it was wheeled to the side, and then there was Craig Wright to power over. Wales
play on.
Approaching 7 minutes.
Advantage,
Stunned. 5th of the way through the first half.
No advantage. Knock on.
So that knock on was from an English paw. And first bit of ball possession really for Wales inside the England half, and it's going to be a scrum. Welsh front row of Johan Emanuel, Isaac Young and Connell Couch, Cardiff Scarlets and Dragons respectively. Two of them did start against England last month, Emanuel and Young. The loose head on the hooker. And applying the pressure at the scrum though, and look at that.
Use it.
The referee decided against the penalty though. Instead, Wales given the opportunity
Release Black
to swing it wide.
No advantage, there is a forward pass here.
And all momentum, or lack of it rather, checked. And it's English ball once again. Fabulous start this from England. Well, if this is a sign of things to come, then it looks very, very positive. And the forward pass there coming from the inside centre, Harry Ackerman of the Dragons.
Mine.
The Dragons, in fact, really well represented in this squad. There's 9 of them. Not all of them starting today. But the Dragons, in fact, have the highest representation of Welsh players in this 26-man squad. With 9, Cardiff with 7, Ospreys 5, Scarlets 3. And the other 2 play in England. Into the high tackle, but I think the player was falling to ground.
Release.
Dinked over the top. Artistic kick, and it's worked out well for Wales. Lovely offload inside. Here they come. Chance for Wales. Oh, brilliant tap tackle. But it's still Welsh momentum and a Welsh try. That is a fabulous response. It was an early England siege, but Wales hit back swiftly. And it's the open side of Cardiff Rugby. Brilliant Welsh response. Lovely pass from his back row partner, and then the scrum half, Rhodri Lewis, gets involved, and it's finished off by Lucas De La Rua. Started at number 8 against England last month in Taunton. Fabulous pass off the floor from Rhodri Lewis. Finished off by De La Rua. And this, the simplest of conversions for Sam Berry. And his first points of the contest, of this tournament, and that is some way for Wales to respond. Wales 7, England 8. Brilliant start to this match after 10 minutes. The attempted tap tackle was a really good one, but the pass off the floor was absolutely sumptuous. Got a mitt on it in the air, England, but it was not forward. And that's the inside centre. That's Connor Cross of London Irish. London Irish pretty well represented. They've got 3 players in the squad.
Good stability, guys. Still work like the first 2 scrums.
In fact, all 3 of those London Irish players are starting today. Alan Taylor and Connor Cross.
Set.
So surprisingly, it's the Newcastle Falcons who have the highest representation as the English scrum splinters the Welsh once again. It is a huge, huge forward pack that England possess at under 18s age grade level. And the Welsh scrum, I'm afraid, just went backwards from start to finish there. Absolutely no chance. The power tends to look to be coming from that tight head side, and that is Jimmy Halliwell of Bristol Bears, who is a monster of a human being. Andy looking set-piece position this, and Craig Wright scored the first try. Now, is it going to be repeat scenario for England? Wright is ready and primed at the back of the maul. Wright has it, advantage, but this is yet another English try from the driving maul. And it's a familiar outcome, deja vu for Wales. And it's that man again, it's Craig Wright. And he is the scorer of both English tries so far. The Northampton Saint is helping himself at the moment. And I'm afraid the Welsh set piece is being buffeted. And all the forward power coming from England. Yeah, the Welsh never seem set to defend that. England do have a massive weight advantage in the pack, by the way. So once again, the conversion is just skewed wide from Rory Taylor. And he's having a field day. Really well set up, and Arthur Green, credit to him, was a pivotal part of that driving maul. half a green of Bath. Wales 17, England 13. But 4 points drifting away from the boot of Rory Taylor in terms of the conversions. But still a pretty handy England lead. There they go through the hands. It's a pretty good tackle. And good at the breakdown from Wales, in at the side, England. And Conor Byrne of Harlequins with the error. It's a pretty decent touch finder as well.
Use the mark.
Samberry.
Ball!
Beautifully done. Wales inside the England 22. This is looking dangerous as well.
Backwards!
Didn't stick to hand. Again, promising. Wales looking pretty dangerous when they get the ball in hand. But that pass just there was not on the money. It was Louis Hennessy of Cardiff and Hartbury who couldn't find the right pass to his centre partner, Harry Ackerman. More from England again. And once again, it gained some traction before it's ended by the box kick, rather. And a very decent one at that as well. And England well over halfway now. It's certainly been a tale of different styles so far. Wales very, very eager to run with the ball. England certainly looking for set-piece dominance, and they've found it so far. This Welsh side cannot be underestimated when they get it into the wide channels. Lovely pass.
Never release.
Decent tackle, but not releasing the tackler. Taken quickly by Rodri Lewis. The tackle comes in from the English open side, and there's the turnover penalty. Taken quickly. And Ollie Allen of London Irish, the scrum half, is not exactly a small scrum half either. Think of Mike Phillips.
Heads out.
He's got that physique about him.
No, play on.
Needs to roll away and does. Through the hands go England. And this is an opportunity here. Lovely pass. Delayed it just at the right moment. England on the 22.
Backwards.
That's gone backwards. It's a quick ball. Ollie Allen again. Ooh, brilliant tackle.
He jumped it.
It was a risky tackle, but I think legal. Just looked like a very heavy landing, but Wales hitting England pretty hard in the contact here. They're still on the 22, there or thereabouts. Floated out to the right wing. England trying to stay in field, but don't manage it, and shepherded into touch. And that's the man of the moment, the double try scorer.
Yours. Inside.
Really hefty hit, actually, from the Welsh number 8, Morgan Morse of the Ospreys.
Correct.
The carry is
Release now,
Emmanuel's.
White. Release. White away.
England are over the ball. I'm not sure they're on their feet here.
Let's go, boys. Down in this
And the Caterpillar
White.
might well be
Hold,
utilised here for Wales.
Use it.
The counter ruck
Backwards.
was
Take it
fine,
back.
says the referee.
Hold.
Wales get it away, but can't find touch. Broken field play. Here come England. Oh, it's intercepted. Still plenty of England players around him though. Good passage of play this.
Play on.
Ball's been infield for a while, but England turned the ball over. Again, Wales competing really well at the breakdown. They get over the ball once again. And that has been their area of strength so far.
Wide, extra ball.
And that's a fine piece of breakdown play from Harry Ackerman of the Dragons, who once again was a starter against England in the defeat in Taunton last month. And that is a pretty decent touch finder, deep inside the English 22 from Sam Berry.
Perfect. Open, open.
Three Dragon starters among the Welsh backline today. Berry, Hugh Anderson on the left wing, and Harry Ackerman.
Option, captain. Scrum.
But,
Strong wide, not straight.
that has not worked out well for Wales. English ball. And another look at Ollie Allen.
Approach.
England had a development camp at Bisham Abbey in February.
Set.
And, trying to hone preparations for this Under-18s festival. And again, picked up at the base. It was
Play on.
the Bath Rugby player, number 8, Arthur Green, who has carried well and hard in this game so far. 20 minutes in, it's some spectacle.
Contest is
Over
correct.
halfway in the first half. Wales 7,
Hey, hold.
England
Hold.
13.
You are
Not quite been
offside
as
on the floor,
free-flowing
number
as
8.
Italy against Scotland. It's been a little bit niggly at times, but that will suit England all right. Penalty given away by Morgan Morse. Morgan Morse actually missed the meeting against England in Somerset. Yeah, it's a little bit fragmented at the moment. Referee pretty hot on his whistle. We haven't had a great fluency about it, but it's certainly been intriguing. England's obvious strength, the set piece. Wales pretty competitive at the breakdown. And the Welsh also looking pretty decent whenever they get their hands on the ball. Line-up goes deep. It's one taken by Green. Better, incisive passing from England.
Maul.
Referee calls a maul, and Wales might have stolen this. Well, they don't. England actually do pretty well to keep that in play. It's a good carry from the outside centre, Georgie Luce of Leicester Tigers. Lovely hands. There is a bit of an overlap. Again, the pass isn't quite right. And it's a yellow card. It's a deliberate knock-on. And this is worrying for Wales. And there was no real need to do that. England did have an overlap, but they were a fair way from the try line. And this is certainly an area of concern. This is going to be 7 minutes in the bin. It's not the usual 10. But Wales, without one of their key players, Sam Berry, takes 7 minutes. Really can have no arguments. Oh, England have lost the line out. Disrupted. And Wales are going to have to play the percentages whilst they're a man down.
Use it.
Box kick almost charged down.
There's a knock on, and you play from the ground. So knock on, no advantage. 7
A
minutes.
bit fragmented, a little bit scrappy at the moment.
Come on then. Yeah, loose. Loose. Yeah, boys, time. Seconds. Let's go, boys.
Welsh put in.
Where is the 9?
Rodri Lewis.
Approach. Bind. Set.
Wales's next match against the host France as England's scrum again surges through. No penalty though.
Hands out now. Hands out wide.
Hands out. Told to leave it alone. Lovely play. Delayed pass as well. Chance for Wales to stretch their legs on the right-hand touchline. It was Gabe Lacey of Bristol Bears with the burst down the wing. Lovely offload as well. And that's Isaac Young of the Scarlets. Big carry as well, and it needs two English defenders to take down the giant back row. Wales have the advantage. First receiver was the left winger. It's out to the right wing is Gabe Lacey again. And into touch, but Wales did have that penalty advantage.
On the line, please.
And we are going to come back for the penalty. And they take it quickly, and they're looking for the posts here, Wales. That was Morgan Morse. He is a huge physical presence, and Wales are in. And this is surely going to be the lead now as well. It's a fabulously worked try. And the speed of thought catches England cold, and that's Isaac Morgan of the Ospreys. Taken quickly by Rodri Lewis. There's Morse, the big ball carrier. Manages to display the ball nicely. Lewis on hand again to feed Isaac Morgan. And that is Wales' second try. Beautifully worked. And the conversion really should be a formality. And with obviously Sam Berry in the bin, this will be Isaac Morgan to convert his own try. And this for the Welsh lead, 9 minutes before half time. Easy does it. Wales 14, England 13. And Wales, with a man down, remember, have done magnificently to weather the English storm and pounce when they're down to 14 men. It was a beautifully worked try as well, finding the hole in the English defence. Isaac Morgan. Certainly is a little bit different how both teams approach the game. England certainly with the weight advantage, and they do like to play the percentages, England, and very similar to how the Test team play. Obviously England in somewhat of a transition. Pretty poor Six Nations really by England's standard at senior level.
Approach.
And, Eddie Jones trying to change the philosophy.
Bind.
But,
set.
the indications are that England play very much the same way at this under-18s level. A monster scrum half figure of Allen. Again, ships it wide. Back to the right-hand wing, chipped over the top. And the cover is there. The cover came in the form of Louis Hennessy, who goes to college in England, Hartpury, in Gloucester territory. It's the first real sight of it Epi Rukadrava has had on the right wing of England. He is a Wasp. And goes to college in Oxford.
Hold that, hold that.
There's the maul again. We've seen it happen twice before. It's set pretty well again. And would you believe it, the hooker is looking for a hat-trick. Wales managed to bring it down this time, and they turn the ball over.
Black was correct.
Well, that is a real result. Remember, Wales are down to 14 men at the moment.
Was correct.
And with only a minute to go on the sin bin of Sam Berry, England look like they're going to go scoreless. with the extra man. Wales did a much better job here of splintering that English driving maul.
Roach!
But
Bind!
set piece may well be a big ask for Wales.
Set!
As,
Oh!
England have had scrum dominance so far. It's much more competitive from Wales.
Number 1 white. Push straight, please.
Get the penalty. England
Number
wheeled the
1.
scrum.
Inside.
Not driving straight as well. That was Ethan Clark, I think, penalised. The Harlequin. He was a try scorer against Wales last month, Ethan Clark. He could have given it really. That's acrobatically kept in brilliantly by Rokodrava. Scrum penalty officially given for not driving straight, but was wheeled as well. But here come England. That's a lovely offload off the floor, and that's back inside, and that's a third England try. And that's a bit more rugby poetry from England. The first 2 tries have been full of grunt and forward power, but that's a little bit of artistry from this young England under-18s team. And it all emanated from this, from Rokodrava. Have a look at this. That is acrobatics of the highest order. How he kept that in, I'll never know. And then this is clinical. Superb burst from Will Glister, the left wing. Brilliant pass off the floor to the scrum half Allen, who sends it back inside. And that is Connor Cross of London Irish, who is a try scorer at under-18s festival level. Although, I have to say, Rory Taylor is not having the best day with the boot. 3 tries, 3 misses from the tee. And England really could be 24-14 in front. They're not. It's a 4-point game. That is some England try. All made by Glister. The dexterity and ability to keep the ball in play from Rokodrava.
Scrum.
Just a reminder that
Mark is here.
each team has 26-man squads, 70-minute contests.
Sorry, mate.
This is the first festival since 2019, due to obvious reasons, being the COVID-19 pandemic.
Roach!
And all players competing in this event must have been born
Set.
after January 1st, 2004.
Use it!
It's the fullback losing the ball in the contact.
14 black.
However, penalty given away by Gabe Lacey. Gabe Lacey coming from the really highly regarded Bristol Bears Academy. Bristol Bears absolutely wiping the floor with the Under-18s Academy Championship in the Premiership this season. Beat Northampton in the final. There was the coaching entourage. Craig Wright goes long, too long. Lost line out, deep in Welsh territory. Lovely delayed pass as well, brilliant from the outside centre Hennessy. But there was the cover. Fabulous piece of defending. Beautiful delayed pass. It was a really good cover. A lot of potential stars on show. Rafi Quirk was an Englishman who featured in this tournament in 2019. He's now a full Test international. Lewis Rees-Zammit for Wales also played here
Vantage, knock on.
a couple of years ago.
Back.
or in this tournament rather. And a Welsh knock-on gives England the advantage. And
Release, Black.
not much in it. England admittedly could be much further ahead had Rory Taylor had his shooting boots on, but
Go. Back. Vantage over, knock on.
both teams displaying plenty of promise so far.
Tackle!
That is some carry from Jimmy Halliwell, another Bristol Bear. He is a mammoth of a human being. And there's the English penalty at the breakdown. And that is a minute to go before the half-time Oranges. And England now will just want to see this out, get some decent legs on this kick from Rory Taylor. And that is a decent boot. I must clarify, his kicking off the tee hasn't been great, but his control of the game has been magnificent.
England, please.
And the Welsh coaching setup, coached by Matt O'Brien, Wales.
Okay.
So do have a lot of promise at this level. The Dragons in particular have just won the regional championships at under-18s level.
Vantage. Vantage over.
Spilling the ball in the contact. Down Wales go. There might still be time here for another Welsh try on the interval. That is the clock in the red.
Now, okay.
There is going to be one last play. Isaac Young. But it's stolen by England, and Jimmy Halliwell comes away with it. He's looking for the offload, but my goodness me, look at this carry from Halliwell. He is a big dumper truck, and he's got skill and verve to go with it as well. And that's a decent touch finder as well.
Half time.
But we won't have time, and that is the break. And it's been an intriguing half, and 3 tries to 2 from England, a couple of tries from the driving maul from Craig Wright, and English dominance at set piece has been a theme of this half, but Wales have looked a real threat when they get the ball in hand. They did have the lead temporarily, Wales, and a couple of really well-worked tries through the hands, but England and that man, Craig Wright, have been excellent up front. They possess the grunt and the forward power. And Connor Cross going over as well for a try of craft and ingenuity for the English. But it is England with a slender half-time lead, but it has been a very watchable affair once again for the second instalment at the Under-18s Six Nations Festival. But at half-time, it is England with the lead. It is Wales 14, England 18.
Soleil.
Eh ben, ça va. Pas mal comme endroit quand même.
Franchement,
Welcome back to Wales against England. We're at the Under-18 Six Nations Festival in Marcoussis, just on the outskirts of Paris. And Wales 14, England 18 at half-time of the second match of the three-match opening day. The sun is out in the Ile-de-France region. Very pleasant and favourable conditions to play running rugby. Well, Wales certainly in with a shout of turning things around. They have notched a couple of scores. Lucas de la Rua taking a wonderful pass off the floor from Rodri Lewis for their first, and then the fullback Isaac Morgan, who plies his trade with the Ospreys Academy, with their second score. But England's forward power has been a joy to watch for the purists at least, and a couple of tries from Craig Wright of Northampton Saints from driving mauls. It's been pretty hard to stop. The English set piece well on top at the moment. Wales have had their moments at the breakdown in particular, and they've been certainly on parity with England when they get the ball out to the wider channels. England's third try was a beauty. Connor Cross of London Irish going over, but there's the main man. That's the scorer of both the opening scores, the hooker, Craig Wright. And he does trudge onto the field to resume his hooking position. No changes from what I can tell at the moment at half-time, although as we are allowed 12 subs each, I'm sure we will see both sides emptying their bench. Well, they say 12, but they're only 26-man squads. And Wales get the second half underway.
Hold, six.
Wales' next match against France, and then followed by Ireland on Easter Sunday. England hosting Scotland on Wednesday, and then Italy. Italy actually upsetting England
is correct.
a year or so ago. And England turning the ball over, but then they knock it on.
For what?
And Wales, well, after losing the early collision in the opening seconds of the second half, will be mightily relieved that that ball didn't stick to hand. Welsh scrum.
Fight. Yeah, well, great detail. 7 seconds. Heading.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
1, 2, 3, squeeze.
Rodri Lewis with the put in. England again with the edge in the set piece. It's a lovely ball. He shrugs off one challenge and then evades the second, but then knocks on.
Knock on?
Or did he? Thought he had knocked it on. He did.
Knock on before.
That was a good burst from Louis Hennessy. But in the end, a little bit too much pressure. He's a real physical beast. That outside centre is Hennessy. In fairness, it was a really good challenge from his opposite number, from George Luce of Leicester Tigers. Forced the knock-on. A couple of minutes into the second half. Wales 14, England 18. Scotland already doing the business against Italy in match 1, winning by 31 points to 17. Scotland hugely impressive. Set piece is solid again from England. Here they go through the backs. Oh, lovely stuff this from Connor Cross, scorer of the third try. Upended by some fierce Welsh tackling. England, it's not quick ball, but they do get the penalty. They're trying to take it quickly. Wales aren't letting them. And that was pretty smart from Morgan Morse of Ospreys. He wasn't letting England take that quickly, but England with Rory Taylor booting into touch, and we've seen it twice before. Rolling maul tries on 2 occasions for England already. And Craig Wright, the English hooker, is on a hat-trick. Hasn't been free-flowing from England, but it's been mightily effective so far.
Hold.
Here we go again.
Hold. Hold. Stop there.
It's set.
Don't change.
Craig Wright has it again.
Don't change.
He's looking for his treble. Craig Wright surging towards the Welsh try line. He has it at the base. Wright is still going. This looks ominous again, but Wales have done a good job here to defend the rolling maul. England still have it. A couple of meters out. Ship wide towards the left-hand touchline, but this is really, really impressive Welsh defence. England forced back a couple of meters here.
What? Advantage, hold the line offside.
It is offside, and England do have the penalty. And there it is, and that is the try.
There's a knock on, no advantage.
Well, they've knocked it on. Would you believe it?
We come back to advantage.
Ever so
offside,
close,
hold
but
the line.
England obviously did have that penalty to come back to.
Scrum.
Good physical play here from England, but he did clearly knock that on over the try line. That was Ollie Allen of London Irish. The rather large-looking scrum half. He's very, very tall for a scrum half. Lost control of the ball, but it's still a very promising position for England.
Yes, guys, you are too far.
And they will have to put in at the scrum.
Okay, okay. Okay, the mark is here. Take your space, not too far. Okay.
England's set piece has been utterly dominant. Wales, incidentally, back to a full complement of players after that earlier sin binning. Sin binning only 7 minutes in this 70-minute match format. 35 minutes a half at this level, not the traditional 40.
Guys, keep it up.
Let's have another look at this. Oh, yeah, it's a clear drop. Ollie Allen will be kicking himself. Golden opportunity for a try at under 18s test level. But here he is again, of London Irish and the Bishop 1 school. England still in a very promising position. But Wales' scrambling defence is hugely impressive. Here they go again, upended again. Big tackle from the loose head prop.
Sorry, guys. I touched the ball. Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
Scrum. I touched the ball. I was between the players. I touched the ball.
The referee getting in the
White
way.
scrum. Sorry, guys.
We have to credit Wales and their defence at the moment, and let's just have another look at this.
Time off.
Very sporting of the referee. Have to credit Ewan Emmanuel, the
Captain.
Welsh loosehead, with a huge hit in the contact just then. That's Morgan Morse getting some treatment.
The ruck, okay? Because you are often offside. No, the player. Talk to your team, okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, he's okay.
Time back on.
Morgan Morse, the back rower for the Ospreys, the captain. He's actually got 3 under-20 caps, Morgan Morse. Wearing 8 for Wales today. Scored versus Scotland at under-20 level. But did miss out on the under-18s defeat to England recently, only last month, down in Taunton, Somerset. England still with the put-in. Ollie Allen. Trying to make amends for dropping that ball over the line.
Set.
England get the shunt on, and Allen picks it up. This is going to be sprayed wide. There is the overlap there, but instead they go into contact, and well, referee says play on, and that's a Welsh turnover ball. Really, really impressive, and England have blown their opportunity. Massive steal from Wales. And for the past 5 minutes, they've been really under pressure, but they've come away with it. But that doesn't find touch. Fielded by Connor Byrne of Harlequins, and Byrne gets it back. Byrne with the pass inside. And then that's pickpocketed from the Welsh wing. He's still going. Incredible from Hugh Anderson. What a surge that was. Wales committing numbers to the breakdown, but it's not enough.
Hey, release the ball, please. 15. 15.
Yeah, it's the Welsh 15, Isaac Morgan, who is penalised. Now, will they go for the points, or will they go to touch? Well, and there's the question answered. It is touch. They are after try number 4.
Okay. He's off the scrum.
Rory Taylor of London Irish, working in tandem with his scrum half partner, also of London Irish.
Them off.
In fact, every Premiership club is represented in this 26-man England squad, other than Saracens. They're the only Premiership club without a single member in this England squad.
Time back on. Okay, don't close the gap.
Craig Wright with the line out.
England, please.
No score in the second half yet. Wales 14, England 18. Oh, it's overthrown, and
We have a first knock on white, second black.
Come on, man, boys.
Scrum.
first knock on was an English one. Wales will have the scrum. And once again, it's a tale of England not really taking their chances. They've been camped inside the Welsh half, but still no score.
Crouch.
Wales have to credit them in the first half as though, where they withstood a 7-minute period when they were down to 14 men without conceding.
Stop.
But the England scrum splinters Wales once again, and they're trying to take this quickly. That was with Finn Carnduff of Leicester Tigers, the big blind side, and out they go. But forced to cut in field. Wales told to release. Into contact they go again. The support cast is there. England, there's quite a lot of them in midfield though. Better off shipping this wide, because Wales defensively look pretty set.
Ball.
England need to conjure something magical here to break through this Welsh defence, and again Wales have stolen it. And now the forwards can have a rest.
Substitution.
Oh, it's just not really going to hands for England at the moment. Massive hit, 8 on 8. And that was Morgan Morse on Arthur Green with a massive tackle. All a bit messy and fragmented from England at the moment.
Yeah. Time is off. Time is off. Time is off. Receiver. Okay, receiver. Okay, guys.
Well, just a reminder, Scotland with a 31-17 victory over Italy in the opening game.
Touch. Play on.
There's Morse, one of the outstanding Welsh ball carriers. He's still going. One thing you can't fault Wales with is their endeavour. and their physicality at the breakdown.
First man,
But
play on.
England have turned it, and that's
No.
Cardiff of Leicester Tigers with the ball. The big English blindside flanker wearing 6. And,
Release Black.
changes are being made at the moment. Oh, this is lovely. And again into contact. England not using the space out wide. And now here's the Wasps winger, but it is knocked on.
Knock on.
And
Yeah.
Epi
Forward pass.
Rokadrava really frustrated. Because that went forward before it fell into his hands.
Substitution. Okay. Have a look. Okay. Time is off, guys.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating all round, really. That was George Luce of Leicester Tigers, the outside centre with the knock-on.
Happy?
You only have to look at the size of the English
Time it back on.
tight head prop wearing 3, Jimmy Hallowell, to see that England have the severe weight advantage in this forward pack. Jimmy Hallowell of the Bristol Bears is a freak of nature.
Guys, stability before the feeding.
There are some very big 18-year-olds in this England team.
Crouch.
Wales with the put-in. Still inside their own half, though. Rodri Lewis of the Ospreys
Not steady.
with the ball, waiting to put in. Not set. Going to have to come back
Guys,
and reset.
respect my goals. No pre-engage.
Referee is absolutely adamant. Doesn't want the front rows pre-engaging.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Ball is here.
Now Sam
Oh,
Berry, the
touch,
Welsh
play on,
fly
touch.
half, takes a deflection. And again, a little bit messy from
Forward.
England. There's no doubt about it, England have had the
Option,
edge
Captain.
on the physicality stakes, but
Captain.
in terms of
Line out.
their attacking zest
Line
and
out.
verve, it
Hold on.
hasn't quite clicked for them. A little bit like the
Number,
senior
please.
team.
Open the gap.
Loose pass then was from the blindside flanker Finn Cardiff.
Okay. Guys, give the clear number, please. Okay. Open the gap.
Didn't look entirely straight, but good enough according to the officials. Taking the air from Wales at the line out was Johnny Green. But England this time at the breakdown with
Contest
the
is
penalty.
correct. Holding.
Wales holding on. Pretty clean line out all round this from Wales. Good intricate passing. Lovely hands in a way, but really good early contact from the English defender. And then England swarming over them like bees at the breakdown.
Substitution. Time off.
Remember, there is no limit to substitutions, so Wales and
Captain,
England
time is
can
off.
empty their bench, and I think they're about to.
Okay. Time back on.
We do have a new English hooker, Charlie Smith. So there won't be a hat-trick for the initial starting hooker, Craig Wright. His day ends with 2 tries. Lovely pass. And the offload as well out of the contact. England looking dangerous here, hunting a 4th try. Again, they're in a good position. Wales having to scramble
on you,
defensively.
was on you.
Here's the
Play
big
on.
Bristol Bear, Jimmy Hallowell.
Away, Black. Away, Black.
England closing in
No
on the
players.
Welsh try line. And here they go, try number 4. And it has been coming 15 minutes into the second half. It has taken a while, but England have finally battered down the door. And England's physicality tells in the end. Wales are beginning to look a little bit tired. There's the carry from big Jimmy Hallowell. And recycled quickly enough And there is the Leicester Tiger, Finn Carnduff. What a moment for him. He is a try scorer at under-18s Six Nations Festival level. Recycled nicely. And a simple finish. England out to 23 with the conversion to come. No successful conversions yet from England. This a chance for an 11-point lead. And it's clean, straight through the posts. And a brilliant introduction from the new fly half. That is Morgan Meredith, who is on for Rory Taylor. Rory Taylor actually had a decent game, but with the ball in hand in open play, but not with his place kicking. And that is Wales 14, England 25. It does look a long way back now for a very tired-looking Welsh team. Morgan Meredith, the new fly half for England, incidentally, plays for Leicester Tigers.
Vantage, knock on.
So we may well be seeing him in the Premiership in a few years' time, pending his development.
Tackle! Hands out! Hold, hold.
Wales with a rare bit of field position inside the England half. Supporting with numbers. Again, fierce England tackling.
Back.
England need to roll away, they have. And there is another English
17.
penalty.
Diving. 17 black.
Yeah, the offender here is the new Welsh prop, Morgan Williams, who hasn't been on the field for long, and he's already given away a penalty. But you have to credit England's breakdown prowess there. In very, very quickly to isolate Morgan Williams. And Williams just didn't have the support. Remember, 70-minute matches, so there is 16 and a half minutes to go in Marcoussis, 25 kilometers south of Paris, where the French national team trains. There's a fabulous setup. England again choosing the direct route through the midfield. But this time a Welsh penalty. And we're not seeing a lot of leeway given in the contact area and on the floor, because the referee is very, very hot on his whistle. This time penalising England, and Wales with a chance to exit their own half. Not the greatest kick, but at least inside the England half. That's Sam Berry, who did have 7 minutes in the sin bin earlier.
Time off.
But a real prospect
Time off.
playing for the Dragons.
Time is off. Time is off, Captain.
Wales perhaps not with quite the depth that England possess in terms of the sheer roster of numbers they can call upon. And this is Ben Matamed, who's receiving treatment. Matamed, again, one of the players to come on. He plays for the Sale Sharks, also for Manchester Grammar School.
Time back on. Open. Open. No. Open. Wait.
Quarter of an hour remaining in the Parisian southern suburbs. There's the scrum half Lewis, who's been outstanding, one of their best performers, alongside the number 8 Morgan Morse. The pass was well read, and Matamed has got up and seemingly shaken off that knock pretty quickly. Put in a huge tackle there.
Was on you. Was on you. Play on.
Trying to wriggle through the contact. Does gain a couple of metres, and Wales inside the England half. Another huge tackle.
Hey, hands out, White.
Yeah, lovely pass out to the touchline, but inside to nobody in particular, and England swarm all over it. But there's going to be a stoppage here. There is a Welsh player down.
Scrum, black ball. Okay.
Wales will have the scrum with the put-in as well, but there is a knock. I think it's Sam Berry, the player down, the Welsh fly half, who's had a pretty steady game. Just a reminder, Scotland beating Italy earlier on today, 31-17, and there's the English coaching staff and the head coach, Jonathan Pendlebury, selecting players from 12 different Premiership clubs, everyone bar Saracens. And there's the Welsh head coach, Matt O'Brien, and he picking the bulk of his players from the Cardiff Blues and the Newport Gwent Dragons.
16. 16. And 4. 16 left.
Sam Berry's still down here, incidentally, and there's no HIA, rather, at this level. And there's the Scotland squad. Well, they'll be in a good mood. Scoring a bag full of tries against Italy. They look very, very impressive, in fact, Scotland in that opening game. Scintillating in attack. And, Sam Berry looks a little bit groggy here, and no HIA. So it's recognise and remove is the protocol at this tournament. And I think that might well be the end of Sam Berry.
Time back on.
Who has played pretty well today.
Crouch.
Welsh scrum. Rodri Lewis with the ball.
Fine. Set.
Oh. England gain more scrum dominance. Referee not happy, not steady.
Making your bitch, Mickey. Making your bitch.
Thank you.
Apologies for any obscenities you may well have heard just then. We do get them in the heat of the moment in rugby.
Please, steady before the feeding, please. Okay? Steady.
Yeah, just wants a steady footing here, the referee. Wasn't happy with how the scrum was set last time.
Stay in the fight, Mickey. We're in this fight, Mickey.
England certainly, despite their defeat by France last month, England do look a real contest.
Set.
Up front, they are almost impregnable in terms of the set piece. You saw the shunt there on the scrum. And England's line speed really good again, and referee says play on, and Wales having to scamper back.
On 7.
And from a Welsh scrum comes an English line out.
No.
Taken very quickly by the Wasp winger.
Sumac. Number. Subs.
Yeah, more subs coming on. Mike Rucastle of the Newcastle Falcons is on. The replacement loosehead prop, wearing 17.
Time back on.
And this is where the game may well splinter slightly with a lot of the subs. Bit of a messy line out. It's a lovely body shape to get that pass away from England's 22, Ben Douglas. And the little chip over the top. That should be dealt with. Tricky bounce of the ball, but really good play. Johan Duggan, that piece of ingenuity for Wales, but again the pressure is being applied from England in the contact area. We've got Nick Tarr, the replacement tight head, and Paddy Pearce both on for England now, two really sizable forwards.
No advantage, was a knock on. Scrum.
It's not been as clean as the Italy-Scotland game in terms of the attacking verve on display. It's been fairly bitty in parts.
Mark is here, guys.
Particularly this second half.
Time off.
It's been a lot of stoppages, a fair few errors, handling errors, and overthrown line-outs. But that will suit England, and they're in a commanding position here. Epi Rocadrava wearing 14 of Wasps. You remember that piece of skill in the first half where he acrobatically kept the ball in play, which set up England's third try.
Time back on.
Wales with 2 converted scores.
Order out, please.
England with 4.
That's the mark.
And also England with 3 missed conversions. If you are just joining us and are wondering why they aren't further ahead, having scored 4 tries.
Crouch. Bye.
Wales with the put-in. Can they gain a semblance of control at scrum time? Rodri Lewis. But again, look at that England shove. It's inevitable. And a bit of fisticuffs comes with it. That's just pure frustration from Wales. They have been utterly dominated at scrum time. And some of these English front rowers may well have a bright future at Premiership and international level. Because they're not only monstrous in stature, they can scrummage as well.
Back. Captain. Go, please. Captain.
Splintered once again. And that is going to be of great concern for the Welsh coach.
I don't want a situation like this.
Matt O'Brien.
Okay. Talk with your teammates. Talk with your players. I don't want this situation. Okay.
2 captains, Morse and Carnduff, just being told to simmer things down by the referee. Kick to touch. England hunting try number 5. Charlie Smith.
Time back on.
With the throw in. And off goes Lucas De La Rua, one of the Welsh try scorers, the open side flanker. Clean take.
No.
England hunting a third try from a driving maul. Charlie Smith, the hooker, has it.
Hey, ladies!
England do have the advantage.
Oh, there. Back.
Ben Douglas.
Stay close.
Douglas, the replacement scrum half. That's a big hit on him though, but too late.
Time off.
That's lovely.
And that was Johnny Green, who plays his club rugby in England for Harlequins, coming in with a late hit on Ben Douglas of the Newcastle Falcons.
Okay. Option, captain. We have 2. Captain, we have 2 penalties. They're collapsing, playing the 9 here. There.
Yeah, choice of penalties, so England can decide as they wish. Instead, they take the first one and they kick to touch. And they're aiming to finish with a flourish. And to match Scotland's total of 5 tries from earlier on today in Marcoussis. Clean take. England try and rumble it towards the try line. It splinters off, but here they go. And there is the 5th try. And it's no more than England deserve. Wales haven't scored a point in this second half. They have been battered up front. And it's another England try. And just look at the forward power that this England team possesses. Absolutely outstanding. And it is the replacement hooker who gets his name on the score sheet. Charlie Smith, just like the guy he replaced. The hooker is a try scorer for England. Yeah, back slaps all rounds. And Morgan Meredith with the chance to add 2 more points. I think that's gone wide. Yeah, the flags are not raised, so that's a misconversion. 4 misconversions now for England. But, well, it's one for the purists, that's for sure, and the traditionalists.
Okay.
Charlie Smith of the Newcastle Falcons, a try scorer at under 18s level.
Ball is here.
10 minutes to go, or just under. Wales 14, England 30. First half was a very, very tight affair. The sides sharing 5 tries, but the second half has been one-way traffic.
Use it!
In fact, I can't remember a single Welsh chance in this second half. And 2 England players competing for the ball there.
Hey.
I think it was Tristan Woodman and Epi Rocadrava, both colliding with each other. It's penalty, and well, you never know if they can score now. They're still 3 tries behind Wales, but things can change very, very quickly. And that was the replacement Welsh hooker Joe Rees winning the penalty, and a bit of concentration needed for England. They're not home and dry just yet. And this in your picture was Harry Wild, who was just come on for Wales.
Players off.
Harry Wild of Cardiff.
Time back on.
Joe Rees.
Okay.
Taken well. And Rees has it back. Tries to send the ball out the back of the hand. But that's been knocked on, and England have the advantage. And
still advantage for
bounced
knock
kindly for England there, but it was still advantage from the knock on.
Back feet. Advantage over, black, white, stop.
And if anything, England's bench in this second half has made them even stronger. It hasn't weakened them, that's for sure. That's the strength in depth that England possess at under 18s level. Watch out for France, though, this week. They're going to be a real threat. France unbeaten when this tournament was last played 3 years ago. It's a lovely burst from Wales, and they're trying to look for a consolation score, but over the ball once again.
Four, please.
I have to say, the referee is very, very hot on his whistle when it comes to manning the breakdown.
Please. Holding.
Terrific burst from the Welsh inside centre. It was Harry Ackerman, but over the ball brilliantly was Johan Jones. Johan Jones, one of the new introductions of Gloucester.
Who is the receiver?
The same school,
Who is the
Dean
receiver?
Close School that produced George Barton,
Okay.
who is starting at fly half today for Gloucester against Newport in the Challenge Cup.
Oh, 21, stop.
A little bit hopeful this time, but at least into space. But, England's cover is there. And that was Will Callister, who surged up
Away wide.
to close off the space.
Back. Use it.
5 minutes to go. Wales 14, England 30. Again, look at the closing down. Makes it so difficult when England's line speed is this quick. Welsh introduction, Walker Price,
England,
who
don't
wearing
waste time,
26 is some
Okay.
prospect.
captain, don't waste time. Okay?
Plays on the wing for the Dragons. Danger again for Wales. Charlie Smith overthrows it.
No, it's okay.
Through the hands, but still inside their own 22. Good feet there, but now on the 22.
good.
And England turn it over. Can they put the icing on the cake?
Right, release. There is
They have another
first.
penalty.
You are the mark is here. You are correct. There is not rolling away, Tucker. It's not you. First, rolling away. The mark is here.
Wales pinged for not rolling
Mark is
away.
here. Post.
Rather surprisingly here, England, rather than going for try number 6, are opting for the 3 points. And Morgan Meredith has kicked pretty well since he's come on.
You have 40 seconds.
And the Leicester Tiger aiming to take England out to 33.
20.
Clean strike, the flags go up. England have a 19-point lead over Wales. And game 2 of the Under-18 Six Nations Festival being played in the Ile-de-France region of Paris. Has been a spectacle so far, that's for sure. England now the top scorers from the opening 2 games, beating Scotland's total of 31.
Just knock on, Leon.
Can Wales find something? It's a good surge, lovely pass as well.
No advantage. There is a knock on
Offload
there.
out of the tackle.
Knock on here. Yeah. First knock on, white. Second, black there. Mark is here.
It's a lovely attempted offload into the path of the
Time. It's okay.
replacement loosehead prop Morgan
2.5.
Williams. But, England did knock it on, and
1.5.
Wales will have the put in.
1.5.
Orson James, new scrum half for Wales,
Bind.
wearing 22. Plays for Cardiff.
Set.
Free kick taken quickly by James. Chance for a consolation. Not the best pass though into the hand. He had to check back. That was Walker Price taking the ball into contact. Lovely offload from the big second row. Johnny Green.
No, okay.
Promising position this. Wales with a couple of tries, but without a point in the second half. That's Morgan Williams.
You
Penalty.
are in from the side. In from
England
the
in
side.
at the side.
Hey, release. Wait, hey.
Minute to go.
Keep calm. 20.
Orson James with the quick tap and go to Morgan Morse. If anybody deserves a try in a Wales jersey, it's him. And here's James, lovely jinking play round the outside. And that's another strong Welsh carry. They're building momentum here. Anything now would only be a consolation, but
No, hands away.
something to
White.
build on into the second game on Wednesday. It's taken by Rees. Quick ball as well. Oh, and a huge England collision.
Touch it by White in the tackle.
Disrupts
Play
the
on.
momentum, but we go on. The cover tackle comes in from
Not on the
Johan
ball.
Jones. Wales desperate for a third try, but being shut out at the moment. Ball went backwards. Here's Morse. He's got such a turn of pace for a number 8,
Play
Morse,
on.
and that's play on.
This is a knock on.
knocked it on though in the process. And the clock is in the red,
Time.
so time is up. And that is the full-time whistle. And that is a statement victory for England. They have kept Wales scoreless in that second half. Wales were very much in the game at 18-14 down at half-time. It was a very, very evenly contested first half. And let's not forget, Wales scored a couple of wonderfully worked tries through De La Rua and Isaac Morgan. But England simply had too much grunt, too much power. And a couple of tries from rolling mauls from Craig Wright in the first half set the tone. And England really turned the screw in the second half. Thoroughly dominant second half display has got England off to a winning start at the Under-18s Six Nations Festival. How lovely to see this tournament back after 3 years due to the COVID pandemic. Handshakes all round, Wales and England as tasty as we expected. It always is at any age grade level, but it is England with a thumping victory, 5 tries to 2. And keeping Wales out at the end would have been a real bonus as well. And plenty of good work for Jonathan Pendlebury to take into England's second match against Scotland on Wednesday before finishing off the tournament against Italy on Easter Sunday. Wales have a very tough one next. They play France on Wednesday, in which they'll need to try and bounce back before ending their campaign against Ireland. But Matt O'Brien, food for thought, but a couple of outstanding Welsh performances, particularly from the number 8, Morgan Morse, who looks like a made-to-be test-level player. But in the end, they were just outgunned by a bigger, more physical side.
Thank you, good job.
England doing the job with 5 tries.
Thank you.
3 of them
Thank you.
coming through the routes of the hookers. And 2 matches down, 1 to go. France against Ireland to come in Marcoussis. But England buoyed by a thumping 19-point victory over Wales. Full time in the Parisian suburbs. Wales 14, England 33.